Alright, hello guys. So I hope you all had a super wonderful day today. So we had great sessions. So including me, I think most of you, not most, all of you are undergraduates. So including me, we all got very clear understanding about how AWS works. Also, what is AWS likewise. So I will tell you about me first. So I'm a final year undergraduate at University of Monroe, like you guys. I'm also an undergraduate. So take this as a peer session, not like a lecturer type of session. Take this as a peer session. And I'm a AWS Certified Solution Architect Associate, and also I'm a AWS Community Builder. I time to time upload YouTube videos as well. So basically, today I'm going to talk about a personal experience of mine. So can I know how many of you are freelancers here? So, alright, so I can see some people. So I think most of you have built systems for users. So basically, this is the application I built for my client as a freelancer. So it is a learning management system. It was basically around for 15,000 Sri Lankan AWS students. So I use Lambda for compute and Cognito for authentication, and S3 and CloudFront also, and API gateways, those basic things, and most importantly, I use DynamoDB. So everything was very smooth. So there was no errors, no issues, nothing at all. So the days go by, weeks go by. So everything went pretty smoothly. But one day, I got a call from the client saying, Madhura, we have an issue. So he uploaded some information to the application. He can see them. He can see that information he uploaded as an admin, but the students cannot see them. Or sometimes students are seeing the information, but they are seeing the old data. So I told him, give me a minute, I will have a look. So then investigation began. So first thing I did was, I checked the deployment logs and checked the Git history, and also went to AWS console and checked DynamoDB. So there were no any errors or issues, so everything was okay. And then I also logged into the system, so and I logged as an admin. So I saw everything was very smooth, nothing at all, any issue. But I also logged in as a student, and for the surprise, there was no issue as well. And now I am thinking about so what is happening now? So I can't debug this because I am seeing nothing. So I went to a Google Meet with him and asked to share his net browser. So basically, some of you might know, all data can be come because of caching issues. Since that, I asked him to go into incognito mode and go into network tab to debug it more. Then we saw a very interesting thing. The thing was, he was getting all network responses. So now you might know the issue. Before discussing more about issue, I will tell you about DynamoDB first. So when we are dealing with DynamoDB, we have to write data. So when we are writing data to DynamoDB, we are writing to a leader replica first. After we are writing to leader replica, it is automatically, basically asynchronously synchronize those data to other replicas. Like in this example, B and C, it is doing automatically as a background process. So it can take some time. It can be milliseconds or maybe minutes. Even can take hours. It basically depends on data load and AWS outages, all those things. And also, I think most of you have done the database module in your university. So some of you have heard about the CAP Theorem. So in CAP Theorem, we have consistency, availability and partition tolerance. Consistency means you are getting the latest data when you request for anything from the database. And the availability means you are getting the data. So see the difference. In consistency, you are getting the latest one. In availability, you are getting the data. So it can be latest one, but it might not be. So see the difference clearly. Now you know the issue for the my problem, because my application was doing the same thing in here. So it took some time to background asynchronously write those data to a replicas in DynamoDB. That's what happened. So actually the fix was very simple. So the fix was actually one line. So I had to write consistent read to true. But what is the cost of this? Everything has cost related to that. So in DynamoDB, we calculate cost as read capacity units, RCU. So by default, DynamoDB is eventually consistent database. But with this consistent read to true, we are making it as a strong consistent database. Now, before when it is eventually consistent, it is 1x, and when it is strong consistent, now it is 2x. Now it is costing us twice. Now you need to know when to use which. So you need to know how to make the trade-off. So when talking about trade-off, when you are making a production application in industry or for client or for any freelance work, you need to think about if the data should be or must be available to the user at that time, or it can be like it can take some time, or it should be available at that instant. So you have to make the trade-off clearly between the cost and the latency. And as an undergraduate, fellow undergraduate, I want to remember clearly, when we are learning in lecture halls, we are thinking in our head, not out loud, why we are learning these fundamentals. We don't need these things because we have Cloud Code, Copilot, Cursor, like latest and greatest text. But all these latest and greatest text heavily pillars of fundamentals. So we need to learn fundamentals first. So the thing is, if I didn't know how DynamoDB works, how CAP Theorem works, how could I debug this? I could have been asked Cursor to debug the thing, but it can take so much hours, and it can take so much resources of mine as well, so much token usage as well. So that's it. So I hope you got something out of my presentation. So thank you very much, and again to the organizers, like you all did amazing work here. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Madhura. And now, in order to present the token of appreciation, I would like to invite the AWS CAP President of the University of Moratuwa, Nami Hamad.